You are this fascinating woman who has done so well for yourself. So it can't all be luck, but tell me about your background, where you're from, and tell people what you do.
Thank you. Yeah. So I'm from New Jersey, kind of in this tri-state market, grew up a little bit between New Jersey and New York. I've been in the mortgage finance industry for the last, gosh, way too long, almost 20 years. So mortgage executive. So, we're not going to talk too much about mortgages today, but I'm an entrepreneur, real estate investor. I own a construction company here in New Jersey, general contracting company called New Jersey Construction. And I host a podcast called the $1 Billion Banker Podcast, and get to meet amazing people like Rachel, and kind of do these amazing visits. And maybe we can have you on our show too, Rachel. That would be awesome.
I would love that. But how did you what made you even want to get into all this stuff? This seems very this is like a tough industry to be in. Like, what was going on in your life 20 years ago that you're like, yeah, I want to do this. I want to get into mortgage.
Yeah. Well, I was a little kid. I always wanted to be a mortgage banker. No, you know what I believe, and this actually ties in, great question, ties in well to our conversation today, but I believe in limitless potential. I was fortunate enough to grow up with two parents that always believed in me, and really helped me to believe in myself. But interestingly enough, when I got out of college, they were like, I don't know if you should get into the mortgage industry. That's kind of like, we just went to school. Like, maybe you'll get a job that pays like a salary that could be really stable for you. And I said, you know what? No, I want to get into an industry where, number one, I'm able to help people. And number two, I'm able to achieve whatever it is I set out to achieve in my life. And so I love the fact that in this business, you are basically, whatever the results are that you get in your business is what you're putting out. And so it's been a phenomenal industry. I've really grown my career that way, and kind of been able to get into all these other great industries as a result of it, kind of mastering this one side of what I do. And so helping people, reaching my full potential. And I'm just in love with real estate and finance. After some time, I just got more and more just in love with it. I love the process of helping people find their home, and going through these financing options with them, and taking them to the closing table. So it's
Well,
kind
it
of
sounds
awesome.
amazing because it sounds like you're able to figure out. I mean, do you just work with a certain clientele, or you work any person to try and get them the house that they can afford?
Any client. 32% of the market's first time home buyers right now. So that's a big part of who we work with. And then we work with second homeowners, investors, people purchasing, luxury homes all across the country. So we can help people anywhere looking to obtain anything. We work with 150 different investors, meaning banks. We process, underwrite, close, fund the loans right here. And we have all the options. So when a client comes to us, it's not like we have one product, one program. We have every program that's out there. So I feel really great about the fact that I can help people to achieve what they're looking for, and not just give them what I have.
I'm curious because I've seen a lot of news recently about the market and homeowners and, what kind of market this is going to be going forward. What's your take on where we are?
Yeah, I think that, what Warren Buffett says it really well. He's like, when everybody else is scared, that's the time to act. And I think there's a lot of people sitting on the sidelines right now, kind of waiting for rates to go down. And there's all these great metaphors and analogies like, hey, if we waited the last time, we would have been waiting, for decades, right? And so you look at what happened in 21 with rates coming down to 2-3%. It was like it's never happened before in history. And
Mhm.
so we can't really compare, the rates today to the rates then, because it's really not comparable. That was kind of a once in a lifetime thing. If you look over the last 30 years, the average interest rates, over 7% when you look at financing in general. Now, home values have come up. And so, financing at 7%, you could feel it. But I think my advice to people is like, just make sure that you get out there and figure out what your options are. Don't make any assumptions in anything in life. I think this is a great market. I think there's markets that are buyers markets, sellers markets. There's always opportunity in real estate. It tends to be a very safe investment. If you look over time and you look at the home appreciations, yes, there's cycles and there's movement up and down, but home ownership, when you look at the net worth of people that own homes versus people that rent, the net worth of people that own homes are 40% higher. And so you look across the board at what kind of opportunity that can create for people.
Mm.
And I just believe in it. I think it's a great space to save money, to build wealth, and to continue to grow.
And I know this episode isn't about this, but I'm curious because I hear a lot of I mean, I own my home, but I hear now people wondering if this is the time to buy. Would you say this is a buyer's market or a seller's?
I think it depends on where you are in the country.
Okay.
It's in New Jersey specifically. I think this is definitely a seller's market. There's not a ton of inventory, and that's kind of what creates that supply demand. You go down to Florida, like Miami or Orlando, homes all over the place, that
Yeah.
you can jump into. So depending on where you are, and so like as an investor, that's kind of important to know as well. But yeah, I think it's always a good time. I think it's about finding the right property. It's about understanding like what finance options you can use and deploy, because there's a lot of misconceptions out there. So don't assume. A lot of
Right.
home buyers think they need to put down 20%. They need to have excellent credit. Those are some of the things that just aren't true.
Oh, amazing. All right. Well, we're going to have to do a whole nother episode about that because I do think
That's
that
good.
people have no idea how to buy that first home. They assume you have to put down at least the minimum and, they don't know all these things. And again, with the credit scores, people have had a really hard time after COVID, especially
Mhm.
closing a lot of businesses. So, I mean, we'll definitely have to talk to you about that. But you've had such
Sure.
massive success in this industry. And I'm curious because we're going to talk about luck. Do you think that luck played a part in it, or do you think it was skill, or what?
Yeah, 100%. I think luck is a part of everyone's success. I think the equation to luck though, and creating it in your life, I think is the part that maybe when people look kind of like on the outside, they might say like, oh my gosh, so and so made it, or wow, they're so lucky that, how did they land that show, or how did they create that opportunity? There's a lot that goes into the formula to create luck. And I think that's what we're going to teach your audience today, I hope, is how to create, their luck in their life, how to create environments where luck can thrive.